Hey guys, what is up? Justin Jennings from Jennings Performance Coaching back again, and today we're going to talk about some supplements. So questions I get all the time are, what supplements do you take? Why do you take them? Are there any supplements that you should take, that you have to take? What supplements work even? There's a ton of stuff out there on the market that is just basically snake oil, and you'd just be wasting your money on it if you bought it. So let's talk about what I take. Some of this stuff I use on the daily, some of this I don't. We'll go through that, and I'll tell you why I take it, why you might want to take it, why you might not want to take it, and then we'll break it down. So I've got a few different stacks here. I've got what I use for sleep and nootropic. I've got just daily health and wellness stuff. I've got antioxidant and anti-inflammatory support. I've got my intra-workout. I've got my pre-workout. And then I've got, of course, my protein. So let's start with protein since I'm holding it. This is just a whey blend from Titan Nutrition. I've been working with Titan for the past several months. I love their protein. You guys can see this. This is their apple pie flavored whey. It's my favorite flavor of whey I've ever tried. I mix that into a lot of stuff. If you guys have been following me on Instagram for a while, you've seen me make, banana bread flavored cream of rice with that, pumpkin pie, oatmeal. I use that a lot. All my little, oat cakes and stuff, they generally have that in it. And so I absolutely love that apple pie flavor. So if you're somebody that likes those fall flavors, apple pie, that type of stuff, go get it before it's gone. It's over there for a limited time only. Click the link down in the description. You'll get 20% off if you want some. So that is my only sales plug that I'm going to do through this video. The rest of it, I'm just going to talk about why I use it and the benefits, why you might want to use it, why you might not want to use it. But I love Titan stuff. They've been great to me. So if you want to get your hands on some of this stuff that I use that they sell, go over there and get it and make sure to use my code. So protein, that's a must. Why would you want to use protein? You would want to use a protein powder if you're somebody that is focused on physique and you need to get that, 1 to 1.5 grams per pound in a day. So if you're trying to build muscle, you want to get at least 1 gram per pound in a day. I do about 1.25. Anywhere above 1 gram per pound is what you're going to want to do. But sometimes, especially if you're somebody that's on the go very much, or you pack a lunches, or, that's me. I pack, 3-4 meals a day that I'm eating throughout my work day. And so I use protein powder for, supplementation. It doesn't replace whole food. If your only source of protein is whey, you're going to be a little bit deficient in some vitamins and minerals, that type of stuff. But make sure you're eating your whole foods. But don't be afraid to supplement with whey. It's super bioavailable. Okay, I said I wasn't going to plug them again, but I'm going to plug them. So Titan, they actually, in their just regular whey blend, you guys can see this is just their cold processed whey blend. It's a blend of concentrate, isolate. They put digestive enzymes in there. It digests really easy. I know a lot of people have trouble with just regular whey concentrate. And so, they do have digestive enzymes in there, so you don't have to buy an isolate if that's something you're worried about. Okay, so on to my intra-workout nutrition. I use this every day. I train in the morning, so I'm training pretty much fasted. This is about the only thing. This and some liquid and electrolytes, about the only thing I have on my stomach. So I use a clear whey isolate. So this, when it blends up like a juice or water. If you're not familiar with clear whey, it's an absolute game changer. It's not milky or creamy like a regular milkshake. And so this blends up like juice or water. And I do 1 scoop of this before the gym. So whenever, I'm getting around, I'm running around the house, getting everything ready to go, I'm sipping on 1 scoop of this mixed with 1 scoop or 25 grams of HBCD, so highly branched cyclic dextrin. This is a carb powder, high molecular weight, fast absorbing, and so it gets in the bloodstream quick and it gives you kind of some sustained energy through your workout. So I'll drink 25 grams and 25 grams pre-workout, and then when I start my workout, I'm doing another 18 to 25 grams of this. Sometimes I'll do 12, half a scoop, depending on what my protein intake is going to look like through the rest of the day, and then another scoop of this. So every day I'm using 1.5 scoops of Clearway and 2 scoops of cyclic dextrin. That's my intra workout, pre-workout, intra workout. You can't beat it, in my opinion. I know a lot of guys like EAAs. I have some EAAs sitting here. So, EAAs, essential amino acids. These are different than branched chain amino acids. Don't waste your money on branched chain amino acids. Just buy your EAAs. This one also from Titan. We've got 7.5 grams of EAAs per scoop. And so I will do before my fasted cardio. So I do cardio twice a week. Even though I'm in a growth phase, I still do my cardio. You guys need to do your cardio year round. If you're cutting, for obvious reasons, if you're in a growth phase, do your cardio so you stay insulin sensitive, so you stay healthy, your heart stays healthy. So you take some EAAs and sip on those while you do your cardio so you're not sloughing muscle off your body. Now on to my pre-workout. So this product, I've been using this longer than I have anything from Titan. Swole Shot, that is a liquid glycerol. So per tablespoon, we have 10 grams of liquid glycerol per tablespoon. And so I normally do about 1 tablespoon of this. That's 15 milliliters of this with 1 scoop of Creex. So this is one of my favorite pre-workouts. It's full formulation, 5 grams creatine in here. Got 10 grams of L-citrulline. So it's not citrulline malate, it's pure L-citrulline. Nootropic blend, 300 milligrams of caffeine. So in the morning, really wakes you up. If you're gonna work out at night, I have another product hidden over here that I'll show you guys that I really like as well. But I do 1 scoop of Creex, 1 tablespoon or 15 milliliters of Swole Shot. That will give you an absolutely skin splitting pump. So why do I use a pre-workout? Because I like the way it makes me feel. But in all seriousness, in the mornings, sometimes you need kind of a little pick-me-up, and that can help with the focus and the energy. But this one is the really important part of the equation here. So glycerol is one of the few supplements, glycerol and creatine are a couple of the few supplements that actually, like, for sure work to build muscle. The way glycerol does it is it drives nutrients into the muscle cell. So L-citrulline is a great pump agent. I love L-citrulline, love the pump I get from it, but that is just increasing vasodilation. So that's just increasing the size of your blood vessels, getting more blood flow to the area, which is great, but that doesn't cause intracellular swelling. And intracellular swelling, so whenever the muscle cell itself is actually pulling in nutrients from around it and swelling up, is linked both causatively and correlatively to hypertrophy. So am I saying this is going to just put tons of muscle on your body? No, I'm not. But I'm saying that it's definitely going to move the needle in the right direction. And we're trying to get the most out of everything that we do. Most of us probably, if we're on YouTube, making content, watching content, we're trying to, get every ounce out of our training and our diet and stuff that we can. So this is nice to have. Now, talk about nootropics and sleep. So first thing here, I've got my L-theanine. I don't take this just for sleep. I take this kind of throughout the day. So I'll take this in the morning with my post-workout meal because I have 300 milligrams of caffeine with my pre-workout. And then I like coffee, so I normally have about half a liter or so of coffee with my pre-workout meal. And so that's quite a bit of caffeine. I'm getting about 400 milligrams of caffeine or so. So I take 200 milligrams of L-theanine with that meal, and it kills those jitters, but still lets you keep that good focus that you get from caffeine. So I use that throughout the day, and I don't use it in the evening because my Titan Sleep product here already has 200 milligrams of L-theanine in it. And so the directions on this say to take it about 30 to 60 minutes before you're gonna go to sleep. What I personally do is I take it about 2 hours before I'm gonna go to sleep because it's got KSM 66 ashwagandha in it, L-theanine in it. It's really good for helping you relax. And so if you're done with your work in the evening and you're just looking to relax, lay on the couch, you don't want to be sedated, this is a really good supplement for that. I pair it with, and I can't say this, so I will just let you guys read it, with 200 milligrams of this. These go together about 2 hours before I'm going to go to bed, and just gets my mind kind of calmed down, keeps my mind from racing in that period right there before bed. Now, when we're looking at directly before bed, I've been using glycine here lately. So I'll take 4 to 5 grams of glycine and 3 milligram. Wanted to make sure I had the 3 milligram ones. I've got some ones in there that I take sometimes too. But 3 milligrams of melatonin just about 20-30 minutes before I want to go to sleep. So I just mix, this is just, the glycine's just powder. I just mix a teaspoon of this, that's 5 grams of glycine, in a small glass of water, about 100 milliliters or so, and take that and my melatonin right before I go to bed. At the same time I'm taking these sleep supplements, I'm also taking my antioxidants and anti-inflammatories. So the reason I take these before bed, as well as I don't have it out here because it's not a supplement, but I also take metformin for insulin sensitivity. I take that after my last meal, so it goes in with this too. All of that type of stuff, any antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, you want to take it as far away from training as possible because you want that inflammatory response from training. And so we're putting these in at night because I've already mentioned it, I train in the morning. So I've got beetroot. This is a vasodilator. It will help with blood pressure, help with circulation. There's some empirical data that shows that. I don't use it pre-workout. I've tried that. I'm not a huge fan of using beetroot pre-workout. I know some guys do it. I rather just take it, at night and just let it do its blood pressure thing then. So worried about our blood pressure, we're taking beetroot. Got NAC and turmeric. So both of those for antioxidant support. And then 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, pretty potent antioxidant as well. So I'm taking all of that before bed, just as far away from training as possible. And then, of course, I have my essential fatty acids, my omega-3s. So I use the Sports Research brand. The reason I use the Sports Research brand is they're the highest strength on the market. So if you're going to take, 3 to 4 grams a day, 2 to 4 is kind of the sweet spot. Why so high? Fish oil omega-3s are actually tissue selective. So the first gram, like your cardiologist is going to tell you take, 1,000 milligrams of omega-3s a day. That's great. He's worried about your heart. That first gram is only going to go to your heart. If you're taking 1,000 milligrams a day and your joints are still hurting and you still have like some systemic inflammation stuff, that's because it's only going to your heart. You got 1,000 milligrams. You need, if you want it to be systemic and help with your inflammation, you need 2 to 3, maybe 3 to 4 grams of omega-3s a day. So these have 1,000 milligrams of EPA and DHA combined in each capsule. So instead of having to take a whole bunch, I take 3 a day. And then I've got my creatine, of course, 5 grams every day. I take it even when I'm taking the Crex. I know the Crex has 5 grams of creatine in that, but on my training days, I guess I'm getting 10 grams of creatine. I don't think it's gonna hurt you if you do that. And so just to stay consistent, I use this every day. Zinc, calcium, and magnesium. So I take 3 of these, I believe, every morning, 3 of those. And that is 25 milligrams of zinc and 400 milligrams of magnesium, along with about 1 gram of calcium, so about 1,000 milligrams of calcium. And then I take my vitamin D3, K2, along with that. So D3 for the immune support, bone health, the K2 to shuttle the calcium where it needs to go, make sure it's not staying in my arteries, make sure it's getting in my bones, all of that stuff. Pregnenolone, I'm gonna backfill some metabolic pathways there, help with testosterone, sex hormone production. Vitamin B complex just for overall health, red blood cell production. I also have B12 that I take on top of that just for the metabolic pathways and red blood cell production. So I promised you guys I would show you this other pre-workout for my homies that work out in the evening. This is the Unrivaled Pump from Titan. And I've used that for a long time. I said that the Swole Shot here was the product I used for the longest from Titan. I actually think this was, I think I bought one of these before I bought this, but I absolutely love that. The orange creamsicle is the best flavor as well. So if you're gonna buy some, buy the orange creamsicle. You won't regret it. It's got 10 grams of L-citrulline. It also has some powdered glycerol in there. It has 2,500 milligrams of glycersize, so powdered glycerol. I pair these two up whenever I take them. So I've got 15 milliliters of this, 1 scoop of that. I'm getting, about 12,500 milligrams of glycerol. That should cause some cell swelling, and it does, I promise. So if you like pump products, it's got nootropic formula as well. So it's got lion's mane in there. It's gonna give you that focus without the sleep problems that you're gonna get from caffeine. So that is all the supplements that I take, guys. It's a lot. This here is a lot. Along with, like I said, telmisartan, metformin, all of that, just for, health reasons. You gotta stay on top of your health. So the sleep stuff, you gotta stay on top of your sleep. That is the most anabolic thing you can do besides eat. And so you gotta stay on top of your sleep, and you gotta be healthy. I talked in my video last week about staying healthy. You can't grow if your body's just inflamed and you're sick and all of that. So like I say, stay healthy, guys. Get your blood work, check your blood pressure, supplement where you need to supplement. I've been Justin from Jennings Performance Coaching. If you like this video, go ahead, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you thought. Hit me up on Instagram or WhatsApp if you're interested in coaching. All of those links are down in the description. Remember, code TitanJPC for 20% off your order. That link's down there as well. And until next time, thanks for watching.